All right, if you're a service-based business owner and you want to grow your business on the internet, what I'm going to share with is some of the easiest, quickest, fastest, low cost or free ways that you can do that. And what this is coming from is in our With You program, one of the things I do first is I get members to post their website, post their landing page, any of the ads that they're running, and I see what wins I can get them on the board as soon as we can. One of the wins we had this week was, has our record in With You for fastest win. I think he was on a little bit of a competition with himself to see if he could do it though. He had his first win in 24 hours. He posted his, I think his website or his landing page or something like that. And I was like, hey, do this, this, this. And then the next day he said, hey, I just joined yesterday and went from 3 leads a week to 3 leads in a day. And he's just one of many examples. Now, before I get into explaining what the things you can do are, I first need to explain the logic behind it. Now, real simple terms, if you want to grow your service business online, the first thing you need is clicks. Those clicks are going to go to your website or your landing page where you want conversions. Once you get those conversions, we need to send them to a conversation where you close the client or the customer or whatever you want to call them. More often than not, this is the easiest lever to pull, because if your traffic stays consistent, if we can just make a few changes to the landing page, we don't need to spend more on ads. We don't need to do anything with the traffic. If we go from a 2.5% conversion rate to a 5% conversion rate and everything else stays equal, you essentially just double the business overnight, because you're still getting the same clicks. We're just converting more of the people that hit here. So I'm going to talk through some of the things you could do on your landing page or on your website to just convert more of those clicks into conversions that actually close. I'm actually going to talk about one thing you can do here as well, which will also close more clients. All right, so like I said, we're getting clicks. Now these are going to go to a landing page. Now, for some of you, your landing page for your ads is going to be the home page of your website. For some of you, it's the contact page. For those that are in our With You program, we actually build out dedicated landing pages for whatever they're clicking. But let's say, for example, you haven't joined the With You program, you're just sending people to your home page, and it looks like this. So you've got this long page, and then this dotted line here is what we refer to above the fold or below the fold. So when it loads on your mobile or when it loads on your desktop or your laptop, the stuff above this dotted line is what loads first, like it's first visible, right? Most of you put your contact form all the way down here and it's labeled contact, right? And it says like name, email, mobile. Well, one of the principles that we teach is if you want to increase your conversions and lower physical resistance is reduce clicks, keystrokes, and scrolls. And all this to scroll all the way down here. Alternatively, sometimes what some of you have is you have a contact. Like what I saw the other day was, okay, so this is the fold here. They had underneath all this stuff, they just had a contact button there and it was like really low contrast. It took me like 3 seconds to spot it, which when everyone has TikTok brain now is a long time. And I was trying to find it, right? And then you click that and then you gotta wait 2 seconds for another page to load and then you gotta scroll down to the contact page. Like there's so much clicking and scrolling and key typing, right? And then what they've got here is they've got like headline, and the headline was literally just, I don't know, the business name. So it'd be like Perf Plumber or Perf Electrician or something like that. And then the sub headline was like, we are electricians in Perth. It's like, no you managed to repeat yourself twice. It's like when you got a word count. That like you're trying to meet the word count, right? What you can do instead, lay it out like this. Split this header section in two. So you're gonna have headline here, sub-headline here, and then you're gonna have your call to action fields here on the right. Because what's gonna happen, the reason I do it like this and then this side is when it loads on mobile, like if that's your iPhone screen, it's gonna load like head, sub, and then the form fields there. So they don't even need to scroll on their phone to do it, because that's how laptop or desktop version converts over to mobile view. Now, the other reason that we don't put just like a button here that loads to another page is the form fields are immediately visible. And so one of my pro tips actually is if you use a CRM system like HighLevel, which is what we recommend, and we give the templates to all of our With You members, is I like using the survey widget, because what you can do is rather than just having like name, email, mobile, you want them to feel like they're starting a process. And so the application, it will load like a little survey. And if you actually, this is a perfect plug for With You. If you could check the link in the description, you'll see if you scroll down, if you want to apply for With You, the first question is multiple choice. And you don't want to do a checkbox, you want to do a radio box. And I'll explain why in a moment. But the analogy I use to explain why I tell people to use multiple choice or radio select boxes is, if you can probably recall a time in like high school or university, you were doing like your 3-hour exam, and there's 3 sections, right? There's multi-choice, there's short answer, and there's an essay. Which section do you go to first? Multi-choice, right? Because the answer's somewhere on the page. Just go C, 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 and hopefully just hope for the best, right? So what you can do with the application survey is I'll do something like which best describes you. This, or this. And the reason I do which best describes you is because it's a self-centered question and people are naturally interested in themselves. And so when they see a statement that reflects who they are, what they are, it at least gets them to start the process. And then it would load another slide. And that next slide might be a qualification question. So it might be like, which industry do you work in, right? What this also helps you do is we have with you members say like, oh, I keep getting like the wrong leads. And I go, okay, what are the wrong leads? I go, oh, they work in this industry. I go, okay, well, if you set up a multi-choice section that if they select that industry, it just doesn't let them through, would that solve the problem? They're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. F***ing real easy fix. And then maybe there's like one more questions radio select, and then you would go name, email, mobile. But it's all on this page, just loading the slides across. Honestly, if you had the previous layout, that'd probably convert. I have this weird trick I can do. I was gonna say it's useless, it's not. But I have this weird trick I can do where I can just like look at a landing page or a home page and just ballpark the conversion rate at like plus or minus a percent. I'm usually right too. So if you had a layout like I previously had, it'd probably convert like 1.5, maybe 2%, depends on some other factors as well. I draw on a whiteboard. If you did this and then did the application survey, it would probably bump you to at least 5%, probably 7.5%, which all other things being equal means you will get 3 to 4 times more leads just moving some shit around, right? The next thing we can do is a really, really easy win, is just get the business owner somewhere on the landing page above the fold. Now, if we add here a video and it's just the business owner, maybe going through some Google reviews, maybe just like literally 30 seconds of saying almost anything, it will absolutely have a positive effect on the conversion rate. Because we've just found consistently with 100% success rate that if we get the business owner on a video, or even a photo would help compared to just a stock photo, it will have a positive influence on the conversion rate of that landing page because it builds more trust. Because people don't like going to a website. Like any of you can go to a website and go, that's a stock image, that's a stock image, that's a stock image. And then you start having all these unanswered questions in your head, like, is this real? Who are these people? Are they unsure? Why are they so afraid to show their face? Are they cowards? I don't want to work with cowards. Nobody likes cowards. And so they have all these unanswered questions. So one of the things I tell Withey members to do is, there's a particular video sales letter I get them to do. But I go, look, even if you can't do that, just get on the video and say almost anything. Barely matters what you say. You can literally just go up there, just go, hey, my name's Brandon. I'm the owner of we're a digital advertising agency. And if you fill out the form below, I'll get in touch with you. That would absolutely help. Like, it doesn't matter, like it barely matters what you say. Just say anything at all. Oh, this one's a really, really useful hack. So I discovered this probably 2 years ago now. So one of my other businesses is called Industry Set. It's a education and coaching program for electronic music producers who want to like make better music way faster, get signed to labels, book shows, book tours, get managers, all this stuff. Pretty much 95% of our student base is in the US. I ran a split test on the high level landing page that I actually forgot about. And I went back to the landing page. I went, what the f***? The test variant has double the conversion rate of the original one. And I started scrolling through and go, what the f*** did I actually change? And I couldn't even remember what I actually changed. Because it took me like a couple moments to realize all I changed was the background image, which you barely see because it's like overlaid. The original version had just a stock image of just like an electronic music producer that's in his bedroom at his laptop or something like that. The new version had me and Jackson, like my co-founder and business partner, and it was just us talking to a room. Oh, I remember how few people were in that room. There was just like a dozen people in that room. But what it subconsciously showed was like, we're real people, and 2, people listen to us when we're in rooms. And it doubled the conversion rate. So one of the things I ask with you members or for you members, like for you clients, one of the first questions I ask them, if they're not already doing it, I go, bro, do you have a photo of you talking to a crowd? Like it doesn't even, it could be your mate's wedding and you're doing the best man speech, it will help. And putting that in the background it usually doubles the conversion rate, like pretty significant effects. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you have Google reviews embedded in your landing page, usually I find more often than not, you put them like too far down. put them here. Because the flow of the person's thoughts is, okay, this is what you do, you're a real person, this is what you want me to do. But now the next thought is, have other people done this? And when the next thing you show them is Google reviews, it overcomes that, oh, I don't want to be the test guinea pig for this, right? So that's the last thing you can do on the landing page. The next and last thing I'm going to tell you to do actually doesn't have anything to do with your conversion rate in your landing page, but it's just simply how fast you get in contact with leads. Now, I think I posted a reel about this on Instagram. If you're not already following us, probably should, because you're making less money as a result of not following us on Instagram. So once someone completes, maybe I should draw it from here. Once someone completes this thing, typically it goes to your email or it goes to your CRM system or something like that. But getting in contact with leads quickly is critical to closing more deals, because you just got to like strike while the iron's hot. We all know this, right? So what you can do in high level, I set up it's called an internal, well, the action and workflows is called internal notification. And then that goes to your phone. Oh, it's a SMS, by the way, not an email or like anything like that. Just goes to your phone. And then you just send over in the thing their name. You don't need their email because you're not going to email them, their phone number or mobile, and then all of the custom fields that they completed in this application form. So you just get a text that just says, hey, you got a new lead, this is their name, this is their phone number, this is everything you know about them. Then you don't even need to open your CRM system. You just go, okay, cool, they need this, this, this. You just tap their phone number and just call them from your phone, and it's so much faster because it prevents you needing to, like, otherwise, alternatively, what you can do, like a bad variant of this is you go, hey, there's a new lead, go check the CRM system. And then you have to like go find your laptop, then you had to open it, then you had to like not get distracted by your other emails, and then you got to open the CRM system, you got to find them. This is like, no, just like tap them from your phone, you can get in contact with them really quickly. So if you are a service-based business owner and you want to grow your business on the internet independently, without an agency retainer, without some El Cheapo freelancer that's like one of my cousins in Manila or something like that, apply for the With You program below, see if you're a good fit. There are certain industries that we don't work with, and you're probably going to be able to guess just based on some of the qualification questions we have the application. We've got some dates coming up. I'm not going to say what the dates are now because you might be watching this in a year's time from that. But click the link below, start your application. We'll see you inside.